So Dustin Poirier is going to be fighting Makhachev at UFC 302. So if you watched my other video about this, you should know my opinion on this fight, and it's not very good for Dustin Poirier. But since this fight's been announced, I've been rattling my brain trying to think of ways Dustin Poirier could beat Makhachev. But before I talk about the things that Dustin Poirier could do to win this fight, we need to address the elephant in the room. So Dustin Poirier has had 2 other undisputed title shots, and let's talk about those for a second. So the first one was against Khabib, and Dustin Poirier didn't really have a lot of success in that fight. Although he did rock Khabib once, and he had a pretty tight guillotine on Khabib, but we all know Dustin Poirier cannot finish that guillotine to save his life. So his first title fight was an absolute shutout. He got submitted in the 3rd round by RNC. So after that fight, Dustin Poirier went on a 3-fight win streak, and then he had his second title fight against Charles Oliveira. Now against Oliveira, he had a lot more success. He defended all 6 takedowns Charles Oliveira attempted on him, and he knocked down Charles Oliveira. But then Oliveira started to overwhelm him in the 2nd round, and then in the 3rd round, he ended up submitting Dustin Poirier by another RNC. Okay, so this isn't painting a great picture for Dustin Poirier. He got submitted and finished in his other 2 title fights, and now he's going against Makhachev, who's similar to Khabib, and was able to finish and submit Oliveira. Like, you don't want to use MMA math, but, you know, it doesn't look good for Dustin Poirier. But look, there are a few things that make this fight interesting. So number 1, this fight is going to be in the United States. So you might be wondering, why is that relevant at all? Well, let me tell you, whenever these Dagestanis fight in like Abu Dhabi, there's always some weird stuff that goes on with the scale. So as we all know, the Dagestanis, they cut a ton of weight. I mean, Makhachev and Khabib, when they're not in camp, they both walk around like 200 plus pounds. So Makhachev is gonna have to do the weight cut the right way. There's no leeway. He can't rely on any of the Abu Dhabi scales. So this is actually a huge advantage for Dustin Poirier, because you never know, maybe Makhachev, his chin is depleted, and then he's more susceptible to getting knocked out. But that could definitely be me coping, because look, I want Dustin Poirier to win this fight. Every single MMA fan wants to see Dustin Poirier beat Makhachev, win the title, and then retire. And you know, it might be possible, because another advantage Dustin Poirier has over Makhachev is his inside fighting is a lot better than Makhachev's. We saw Alexander Volkanovski really exploit this weakness in his first fight against Makhachev. And Dustin Poirier packs more power than Volkanovski. So if Dustin's able to stay on the feet and trade with Makhachev, there's a good chance he can catch him and maybe knock him out. But there it is, that's the thing. Dustin Poirier needs to spam his takedown defense, and he has to bait Makhachev into exchanging with him on the feet. But the only way Dustin Poirier has any chance of having any success in this fight is he has to keep the fight standing. But he's kind of old, and I don't know if he can do that. I mean, his takedown defense didn't look great against Benoit Saint-Denis. I know he pulled the guillotine, but still. And that's another thing. Dustin Poirier needs to completely throw out the guillotine. It has never worked. It's never going to work. And if he fails a guillotine, jumps the guillotine against Makhachev, he's going to get punished hard, and he's not going to have another chance to get back up for the rest of the round. But let me talk about Dustin Poirier's secret weapon. This is something that Dustin Poirier, if he can exploit, gives him a massive chance of winning this fight. So Makhachev never fights any other southpaws, and a lot of Makhachev's striking game is based off of the advantages of him being a southpaw against orthodox fighters, such as his body and his high kicks, his pullback counter lefts, even his distance management. All of these parts of his game are tailor-made for an orthodox fighter. So even though I believe Makhachev is better at long range than Dustin Poirier, a lot of Makhachev's typical tools he uses just won't be there. And Dustin Poirier actually has a decent reach advantage as well. And Dustin Poirier actually excels against other southpaws. I mean, just look at his fights against Conor McGregor. So with all of these factors combined, I think the chances of Makhachev beating Dustin Poirier are higher than we think, but still not high enough. So I'm still picking Makhachev to beat Dustin Poirier, but maybe Dustin Poirier can still pull it off. He has some things that he can do in this fight. But hey, look, that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Do you guys think there's zero chance Dustin Poirier beats Makhachev? Or do you actually think I underestimated Dustin Poirier and he has an even better chance than I'm giving him? I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to the LSFC YouTube channel. But if you really like us, if you really like the LSFC, and you want to support us, please consider becoming a channel member, becoming an LSFC core member. You get access to a lot of exclusive perks and our exclusive LSFC grappling resources, which are great for beginners and intermediates. Great if you're doing jiu-jitsu, wrestling, judo, any of that. So please consider joining the membership if you want. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.